What you guys got?
How was Marquise Buford able to respond this week?
Yeah, Keith did a good job this week, so we'll travel him. He'll be ready to go. What that role looks like, you have the volume, I can't say right now. I think a lot of it will depend on the game. But he's cleared, so he's ready to go. So I was really pleased. He practiced Tuesday, practiced Wednesday. Obviously he won't start. We'll play with the guys who've been playing, but he's ready to go in there.
Any other notable health things? And I was just going to ask about Billy Kemp and Deshaun, like kind of where they're at.
Yeah. Deshaun came back to practice and it didn't go real well, so he'll be out extended amount of time still. Billy's not fully cleared yet, so but he's making remarkable progress. So we'll travel Billy and warm him up before the game. Maybe he'll have some sort of a impact on the game, but a lot of that will kind of depend on the next couple of days. Probably more next week, but we are going to travel Billy to make sure he gets that treatment. And if he can do some things, we'll use him.
How's Murray?
Nuri's coming along. He's battling. It's good to have him out there. Turner went in for surgery today. Piper was out at practice today with crutches, brace on his hands. So, Nuri's getting better, trying to work back in.
You've talked in the past about the way that you kind of built your relationship with Tommy Hill when you got here. I guess how rewarding is it to see him having success over the last few weeks and kind of what he's put into to be where he is now?
Yeah, I'm very proud of Tommy. I think the credit goes to him. I think the credit goes to Coop. Credit goes to a lot of people in the organization who've worked with him. But really, I think he's a fantastic football player, and he was well on his way to this in camp and got banged up. But you think about in today's day and age, a guy who's willing to switch midseason to go over and play receiver part time, then go over and play full time, and then injuries happen. He and I even had a conversation. Hey, should he redshirt? And I said, I think it was whatever game it was. I said, hey, let's play this game and we'll talk about it on Monday. And we both felt like even let's play it out. And then now he's hitting his stride. But he practices that way. He plays that way. He's just got the intensity of a lion. Even he caught that punt last week as one of the corners. You normally don't want your guys doing that, but it's not like he's trying to showboat or anything. He just sees the ball and he plays football all the time. So if there's a job we needs done, I think Tommy's one of those guys. Hey, Tommy, would you mind going and do this? And he'll always get it done.
How do you balance decisions in November with maybe the freshmen who have played? Maybe they played 2 or 3 games or something, and how to work them in and kind of weighing if you want them to go over 4 or that balance, I guess, of that whole thing.
Yeah, there's not many that are in that situation. I think if a guy helps us win, we'll play him, right? If a guy can help us win, so that's what they're all here for. They want to play, as long as they want to play. If a guy's like, Coach, I don't want to play, I just don't know how you win with players who aren't ready to play, and that's not a negative thing. Sometimes the guy's just not ready mentally, or But I think if a guy's going to go in and play significant snaps and help us win, then great. If they're playing 10, 12 snaps a game of real football, a lot of times that's what you're playing as a redshirt freshman or as a sophomore. So if they're just kind of going in at the end of a game, or they're going in to be the 2-1 kickoff and someone else could do that, then trying to rotate someone else in there so the team's healthy long term. But anybody that's having a significant impact, then we would probably continue to play them.
It's been a while since you guys have played on the road, especially on a Saturday. Are you guys ready to see what you guys can do away from Lincoln?
Oh yeah, I love going on the road. I get to sleep. I sleep on the plane. I usually try to get to the hotel and sleep unless Keith has media for me. And I love being in the hotel. I love being with the guys. Coaches. I like going to the movie with. We do that at home, obviously too. But and I love walking into another team stadium, especially a place like Michigan State. A place that I respect. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch these guys go play, and it should be, like I said, I expect this to be a great football game with 2 physical, blue-collar, tough teams, and I love playing at 11 a.m. So, I like to wake up and play. So I'm really excited to see the guys and see what they can do.
I know they're on a losing skid, but it seems like they're fighting. Through the results, they've been close and going in the fourth quarter in a bunch of games. Is that what you have seen, kind of watching the tape?
Yeah, this is a good football team with really good players that's been stuck in some adverse situations. They played the number 8 team in the country. They played the number 2 team in the country, and they were, I think they were told 3 days ahead of time, you have to probably change all your signals before the game. So I don't even know how I can count that against them. They were beating Iowa in the fourth quarter. They were beating Rutgers in the fourth quarter. It was a 3-point game in the fourth quarter against Minnesota. I mean, this is, this is kind of who we are. It was a 4-point game in the fourth quarter. It was a 7-point game in the fourth quarter for us in some games. I mean, they fight, they battle. They've got excellent players. Carter is as good a back as we'll see all year long. The personnel on defense, outstanding. I mean, number 8, as dynamic a D tackle as you'll see in the league. Edge pass rusher. So they have really good players, really good coaches. They're playing for each other, and I have a lot of respect for them.
We don't always get asked you about this stuff right after the game, but like Ethan Piper's mom and I think some others were down, by the gate when you came out, and people saw the video about your message about breast cancer and stuff like that. What was that moment like for you, and why you involve, parents and stuff like that?
Yeah, that was the parents part was Julie's idea. My wife Julie. Since she got here, being away from college football, we missed the parents. We missed the relationships with families. My wife's at the Illinois game. She's up in the stands sitting with all the families. It's you get to know these people and you get to see them through 3, 4, or 5 years sometimes of all kinds of different journeys. So when we came back to college football, my wife started like the women of Husker football or the women of Nebraska football organization, and moms, grandmoms, aunts, sisters. We're certainly not discriminating, and they did the Tackle My Son event, and then did like a kind of a charity event the next day before the spring game. In fall camp, they did a kick a PAT and like a family event. So I just think Julie was really conscious of involving the moms, and the dads were looking at me like, "What's up, Coach Rhule?" So I had to step it up at some point. But obviously, as you heard me say, like our family's been touched by this. And when I asked Trev, I said, "Hey, obviously I know we support different causes, but could we do this for one game?" And I had several players ask me, "Hey, Coach, can I do this? Can I do that?" Trev was great about it. And we just wanted to incorporate, Julie's idea was to incorporate the families, and to have the families, the moms, the sisters, the aunts, all the women of Nebraska football that were able to be at the game. That was short notice. It was only a week's notice. So we look forward to doing it each year, and families having more time to travel in. But I thought that was powerful for them to walk by all those women. And then the message, that I had was, I just simply wanted to honor my mom, and I wanted to honor Julie's mom, but in doing so, honor all the moms and all the aunts and all the grandmothers. Every year I've worn 2 ribbons, for my mom. And it's unfortunately sometimes as men, we only recognize, and I shouldn't say this. I should be careful how I say this. Unfortunately for me, maybe, as a man, I just want to lump all men in. Sometimes we only recognize things when they affect our families, right? And then all of a sudden we attached it to it, like, oh, wow, breast cancer because it happened to my mom. And so I've tried to become cognizant of things that affect women, things that affect other groups, things that affect kids that maybe don't affect my family, but how can I support those causes and be a part of the community? And so, on a team where you look at like all these different guys from all these different places, and we divide ourselves, offense, defense, young, old, white, black, you start talking about cancer, and specifically breast cancer, and guys across the room put their hands up. And what you find out is the worst day of my life and the worst day of my wife's life is also sometimes the same worst day of a lot of these guys' life, when your mom calls and says, "Hey, I've been diagnosed with breast cancer." So it's just a way to unite us. And, so that was all Julie's idea.
Coach, did you do anything different this year, or this week, about addressing baby ball security?
Oh yeah, I mean I hate to say this because it's embarrassing to say, but we coached it better. We sat down as a staff on Sunday and went through every single fumble, why they're happening, what are the commonality. A lot of them have been on just the center quarterback exchange, and but why they're happening, what can we do better, and then we just created drills based upon our body of work to help us. And so we do ball security every day, but the results weren't showing that we do ball security every day. So to me, you don't change, you do things better. But if you do things better and it's still not showing up, then you have to change something. So we just changed the impact of the way the drills that we're doing. And I hope it shows up this Saturday. Sometimes they don't show up right away. Sometimes it takes a couple weeks. But I feel good about our process this week, that we really put our guys in a position to be successful. Because if we're having this many fumbles, if we're leading the nation in fumbles, then I as the head coach am not doing my job, because no one wants to fumble. They're not careless fumbles, so we have to improve that.
Matt, on the top of those pregame speeches, it seems like the fans have really enjoyed seeing those as they go out on the show. Are they in the moment for you? Do you rewrite them?
Oh, no. Which I just, I've had a couple people text me like, hey, what a great pregame speech. I remind everyone that we fumbled the opening kickoff not more than 5 minutes after that. So it wasn't the greatest pregame speech, And I mean that sincerely, like, to me, Dr. Haskell here has done a lot of research and helped me a lot with just, the things we do on game day, the videos, like the effects on like your chemistry of seeing yourself make good plays. Like, we send out videos now to guys. We send out personalized videos to guys. Like watching yourself make plays can raise like your body chemistry in a positive way, 44%. So I've changed a lot of things based upon that. And, I've never been a big, like, say it too much before the game, but I think, if I feel something, I say it to the guys. If I don't, I don't. Obviously that moment there I wanted them to understand why. I just don't want our guys to ever feel like we're just doing this to do a nice thing. We're doing it because it means something. And so, but yeah, I certainly don't think about too much about what I'm going to say, because then it's not real. It's not coming from your heart, right? Yeah, I don't, I try not to, I might have a point in my brain, but I just try to get up there and speak to the guys so they always feel like it's authentic. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.